Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. So today is finally, after months of waiting, part 3 of my Sonic Collection update that spans from when I moved here to the time I moved into this apartment. Sorry I have been so behind on everything. I've been working a lot. I've been dealing with a lot. I have been working on product for my Etsy store, which I am almost ready to open officially. I just have a couple more things to do, and I'm, of course, still working on product for it. Once that opens, I will be making an announcement here with one of my updates, probably, or I might make a separate announcement. So if you like goods that are made by hand, handcrafted goods, that is going to be a great place to go. It's all going to be crochet. I have quite a few products already listed but not posted for public view yet, so I have them in draft form ready to go when I'm ready to actually hit the button and open the shop. I should be able to do that with one touch of a button, which is kind of cool. I don't know how long I'm going to stay with Etsy. I might look into opening my own website for them. I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure how that's going to work out, but it is coming. Now, for part 3 of my collection. Now, I have quite a few things, and there's a couple of things I did forget to show. Actually, there's one thing I did forget to show in my plush collection, so I will take care of that first. So, I have a Hallmark that is close by to where I live. I can take a bus up there and get there within probably about an hour by bus, maybe a 10-minute drive if I take a lift. Um, but I stopped in that Hallmark just to see what they had. I knew they were coming out with new ornaments, and I just happened to run into these Hallmark plush called Itty Bitty or Itty Bitties, but I was able to run into Knuckles. I don't know how many more that they had of these. I would imagine they had Sonic and Tails. I don't know if they had Shadow. I didn't even know these were coming out. And this is the only one of them that I actually have, unfortunately. But that's it is what it is, right? Um, I'm sure I'll find the rest of them at some point. I might have to go on eBay to find them. Hopefully, they're not an astronomical price, but we'll see. So that is the update to the plush uh, video that I did starting out. I wish I had realized it was there, but I kind of forgotten about it. It was in the bottom of a bag, the bag that I got from Hallmark. Now, speaking of Hallmark ornaments, I did actually. I never got a chance to display them because I was living in the Airbnb at the time. No, I was in the hotel at. Where was I? I was either in the hotel or the Airbnb. I can't remember which now. But I did get the movie Sonic um, ornament. This has never been opened. I might do an unboxing on it with these ornaments later, just to show them off on the channel. But that's probably not going to be something that happens too more toward Christmas because if I'm opening them at this point, I'm getting ready to actually put them up on a tree. So take that as you will, but I do have it. And of course, I have. You've seen the unboxing for the other ones that I have from their first run. So this is a nice addition to that. And then I also got the one that has the Sega Genesis that has the Sonic the Hedgehog 1 game cartridge in it. So, and I only bought it because it has the game cartridge in it. If it was just the Genesis straight up, yeah, it's a cool ornament, but I want everything that I buy to have something Sonic to do with it, as I'm shaking it all over the camera. There, see? There, it's hopping. So I was able to get that. And then, of course, they had the classic Eggman there. It's kind of cool that I can go into the store and say, hey, you have it. I want it. Give it to me. Let me buy it. Because sometimes when you're dealing with online stuff, it can go pretty quickly. It can sell out pretty quickly. And I know they probably do like what I did with one of my old stores when I worked for Joseph A. Bank. Any orders that came through, it looked for the closest store that had them nearby and sent them out from that store. But it is much easier to be able to walk into the store early and see if they have it, and if they have it, pick it up. My Christmas tree is looking very Sonic-y this year for when I get that, and I will take a picture of that. I'll post it somewhere for all to see after I have set it up and decorated it. And no, it will not be a real tree. I will get one that is is a fake tree. You know, I mean, I like being able to reuse things. I know it's not the greatest thing in the world. It's certainly not traditional, but you know, it is what it is, and I'd rather have that than anything else. And then I discovered the mall that's close by. It's an open air mall. So I went down there. I don't remember if I got it from Hot Topic or Spencer's. But I was able to find this drink cup from there. And that's pretty cool. It's nothing I'm going to use actively. Obviously, it's going to go on display, but I do have it. I've seen it. I believe I've seen this on the Sega shop before, but I never picked it up. It is by Just Funky. So that's yet another thing. It's funny, I have all these mugs that you saw in earlier videos, and I don't use them. I have other mugs that I use for like my morning coffee and whatnot. I buy these purely for display, for collection purposes. There's another thing that I buy for just collection purposes because my big ass feet will never fit in them. Strike that. But I got these Sonic socks. I think I found these in a Target somewhere, but it comes with modern Sonic, modern Eggman. Someday when I have the setup that I want, I'll pull these apart and actually physically show you. But these are kids' socks, but they're Sonic, so I had to get them and add them to my collection. I have another set like that too. And then I think I found it in the same store, but I didn't find it. I actually found this in a Joann's when I was going to Joann's to stock up on yarn for my crafting. Excuse me. That was sudden. But I found this Tails Pez dispenser, classic Tails. That's really cool. I don't have any of the ones that come from Funko, but unless this is Funko. No, this is made by Pez. Not a Funko item. So this actually is a set of 3. So it has Sonic and Knuckles as well. I could only find Tails. Sorry about the glare, everyone. It's just the nature of the beast right now. Alright. And then I know I found this at Target, and I kind of scared myself because I had bought an exact copy of the Silver the Hedgehog one, but I found this Sonic car, and then inspecting it a little bit closer, I realized it's not exactly the same. It says it's Team Sonic Racing on the back, but it's not exactly the same. The one I had does not have this star on the side of the car, so this is a different thing. The Speed Star is a little different on this one, so I wonder if it's a chaser of some kind that I just wasn't aware of. Okay. Oh my goodness. I have it way over here. The next thing that I found that I had to reach for, now I'm dropping things, is this fleece blanket that I found. I'm pretty sure this was a Spencer's item. This is by Franco Manufacturing Incorporated. This is something that'll probably never come out of unless I have a good way to display it. It will probably never come out of its packaging, but it is added to my collection. I love these fleece blankets. That's something I want to try out with my crafting. Is I'd like to be able to make a Sonic blanket in crochet somehow. But that's a whole skill that I do not have, unfortunately. Now, some really cool stuff. Straight out of Sonic the Hedgehog 2, the movie. I found this in a GameStop. I thought I had missed it. Things like this tend to sell out. Of course, this is Jakks Pacific. It is a remote control item. It's never come out of the box. It's kind of going to be like... I think this will be like my Death Egg... is it Death? No, the Eggman robot from Sonic the Hedgehog, the first one, where it's just never come out of the box. This is probably going to just end up displaying just like this, because I don't want to lose the parts in it. I've seen too many times where you've opened boxes like this and people have broken something off. Like I have a Jet the Hawk remote control from the Sonic Riders part of the franchise. I don't want to lose this, but this is of course supposed to be from the iconic snowboarding scene in Sonic the Hedgehog 2. So this was kind of a really cool addition to this. Here, let me put my mic down and put this out of the way. Excuse me. Okay, the next thing that I have gotten, now this one I'm almost 100% certain that I found at Target at some point or another, and I haven't been up there in a while. They were pretty hot with stuff when I first moved here, but I was able to get that Flying Battery Zone diorama set. Again, hasn't come out of the box, probably won't, because I think it's displayed pretty well here. And, excuse me, I'm sorry. Did I say you could get out of my hand? No. So, this is very likely staying, because I don't see any way to put this together. I don't see, they seem to be all freestanding, unlike the Green Hill Zone one where you actually could snap the scenery together. This didn't really come with any kind of real scenery. I would have put clouds in there or something, but hey, such is life. But that's not all. I discovered a really cool store here in Illinois that's in the mall. They actually have two stores in the same mall, just two different areas of, and they sell all kinds of pictures. Well, what caught my attention, I decided to stop in there because I was exploring that day. I hadn't intended to buy anything, but I was exploring the mall. I love malls. I love going to them and seeing what interesting things that I can find, whatever is tickling my fancy that day. And I found not one, but three of these type of things. So first of all, I found these really cool pictures. These are like those little tiny cards that you would get in like cereal boxes, where they're designed with, depending on where you look or what angle you look at, it's something different. So I got one for obviously Sonic the Hedgehog 2. These hang on my accent wall near the kitchen. I took them down just to show you all. I had to put them up right away because decorative things were not a thing in my old place, and I needed to do that. And then this one is cool. So there's this one with modern Sonic the Hedgehog, with the movie Sonic, and then you have an old box view. What I think is the first one. I don't know. This might be an artist thing. I think this. I tend to think this is Sonic 2 art from the original game back in the 90s. I'm pretty certain of that. I haven't seen it before though, so but yeah, you've got two different things for Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and that tells me because it's a Sonic the Hedgehog 2 there makes me think this is Sonic the Hedgehog 2, though why they would leave out the 2, I don't know. Anybody's guess there what the designers were thinking. And then this is the one that actually caught my attention. This is, of course, from the movie. You look at it one side, it's just Sonic running down a roadway, what looks to be a tunnel. And then you have the ring forming behind him. So this was a really, really cool addition to my oh, and his lightning too, to my collection. These are the big things. Now at this point, I have stopped buying things because we don't want to overextend. I am living by myself now, and we don't want to endanger, the paying of bills to just to get more stuff for my collection. So as soon as I catch up and as soon as I'm got everything equalized, which hasn't quite happened yet, then I'll start thinking about collecting more. But as far as collection goes, it's now at a standstill. I might grab something every now and then, set it aside, and update every so often. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Now, I want to address the elephant in the room, because I kind of look a little different than what I have normally looked in the past, and of course I'm referring to my attire. I am wearing a dress shirt. I am wearing a bow tie. I am wearing a sport coat. Why? It's because I enjoy it. I know that I have looked very dressed down in the past. Very, very casual, almost overly casual. That's not my default, oddly enough. I actually really like wearing things like what I'm wearing right now. I grew up with it. Now, if you've watched my video about why I like Sonic so much, you'll know that I grew up as a Jehovah's Witness. Okay. Now, a lot of times you would think that most people, having grown up in a situation like that where they had to wear suits and ties, and things that are a little bit more formal. Believe it or not, this is not formal. This is actually casual. It's what's called business casual. You would think, and in many cases this does happen, where people just cannot stand wearing a suit and tie anymore. They just absolutely hate it. They loathe it with every fiber of their being. They leave it behind. They have one on hand in case they absolutely have to have it for whatever function that they're going to, a wedding, a funeral, things like that, of that nature. I actually genuinely love wearing this stuff, and I always have. But there's a bigger reason why I like wearing stuff, this kind of stuff. Now, a lot of what you're seeing here is kind of stepping into the realm of vintage. One thing that really irritates me is the world of fast fashion. There's no environmental reason for that. It's more, I like my things to last. I like my things to be well made. If I'm putting it on my body and wearing it around, I like things that aren't going to wear out very quickly. And in the past, you're seeing a little pull to the other end, to the area I don't like with some brands. But, these kind of this kind of clothing was really well known to last for a long time. In some cases, it was so well made that some of it was even generational. You could pass it down to another person that was younger than you that might be able to wear it, so long as it fit. This is where the statement, you look like you're wearing your grandfather's clothing, comes into play. Because they very well may have, because the clothing was just so much better. It was much more well made. It was structured well. It used really good materials to make it. Unlike today, our clothing is not really that great. It doesn't even really look that great. See, I like stuff that looks good, and is going to last me for a long time. I think I've stated that a couple of times now. And I also like the way that I feel in them. I feel good. I feel it just makes me feel better. There's no political background to it. There's no social statement behind it. I just like the clothing, and that's really all there is to it. So in the future, you're going to see me wearing more stuff like this, more stuff like this. And by the way, this is not a clip-on. This is, in fact, a real bow tie that I had to tie myself. I think that I don't like clip-ons. I think they're horrible. I think they're lazy. I do. I believe that if you're going to wear a bow tie, just learn how to tie a bow tie. It's really not that hard. It's not as hard as media makes it out to be in like comedies and dramas and whatnot. And they're a good look. I mean, and if you're wondering why I wear bow ties, I didn't used to. What got me into it was Doctor Who, Matt Smith's run on the show. Yes, I like more than Sonic, but Sonic is the main thing. And his character, his outfit, if you know anything about it, every time he regenerates, it's a different costume for the season or for the time that he's in, and there's always something unusual that he ends up being known by, or whoever is playing the characters and ends up being known by. In Jodie Whittaker's case, it's the clam digger style pants, the shirt with the multicolored stripe, and that overcoat that she wears. In Matt Smith's case, it was the bow tie. Hands down, it was the bow tie that he was most known for. David Tennant, his was that long, beautiful overcoat, which I would love to have someday in my size, because that is actually a really nice dress coat. It was things like that. Each of them had, of course, the Doctor who had that long scarf. I think he was the fourth Doctor. He had that long scarf. So, in that neat hat. So that was that thing, and I decided, hey, I sell this stuff, because I was working at Joseph A. Bank at the time. I sell this stuff. I sell bow ties. Maybe I should probably know how to tie that and maybe even wear them on a regular basis. So I did. I bought a discounted bow tie. I think it costs like maybe $10, and I looked up YouTube and I started learning how to tie it. So that's the story behind that. It's a non-Sonic story tangent. So, yes, you'll be seeing me wear more of this as I make videos. You'll see new things pop up. This, I don't know what brand this is off the top of my head, but I can tell you that this sport coat, is a Hart Schaffner and Marks, and they have some beautiful materials, some beautiful patterns. It's very understated. And then the shirt, of course, is from Joseph A. Bank, but I don't think they make this anymore. I think this is now a vintage item that I bought when it wasn't vintage, so who knew? So that's a big thing that I do, is I shop a lot on Poshmark, and I try to find vintage items and items that I believe to be things that are going to fit into my personal taste. I typically like classic men's style. And that's not to say that that's any kind of political statement for or against any group or whatever. I just like the style myself and the clothing items that are associated with it. Gentleman's Gazette, what do they call it? Classic style, but not classic beliefs. I don't think that's exactly. I think that's a paraphrase. So I don't like the classic beliefs. I do like the classic style, though. So at any rate, I'm rambling at this point. Video is done. Keep coming back for more. A few plans for me. I want to get that streaming thing going. I'll probably start out with doing crochet work on stream. Um, it's a slow grind for me, unfortunately. That's what I've been experiencing. So we'll get there, though. Sooner or later, we will get there. Um, yeah. This is the problem with doing things off the cuff and not having a script. All right. Well, I hope everyone has a great day. And I will see you on the next video, whenever that might be. Have a good one. And if you're in some of these heat-stricken areas, I know the heat's broken. Stay cool.